How should I start this off? Do I say hi? Do I say welcome back? I don't know. Okay, well, we're just gonna get right into it, I guess. Just to address the huge time gap in between this video and my last video, I just didn't really feel motivated to make a new one, but nothing like self-quarantine and a pandemic to make you reevaluate your life. So here we are. Before I begin, I wanted to put a disclaimer out there that anything I'm about to say is not factual. It's based off of my own opinions and my own experience, so don't take it as 100% fact. I'm just a dumbass metalhead with my own YouTube channel. So today I wanted to talk about something that if you're a metalhead, you probably have a strong opinion on, and that is going to be karate in the pit. Now, if you don't know what karate in the pit is, it's a form of moshing where you just flail your arms and legs around in like a fighting type motion. It's what you would think of when you hear karate in the pit. Karate, specifically that you might find in the pit, is also called hardcore dancing. In fact, the correct term is hardcore dancing. Karate is kind of a way of making fun of it. It is a type of moshing where you flail your arms and legs around in a fighting type motion, but with rhythm and in keeping with the music. So it is more of a dance. If you have trouble understanding what I'm talking about, I highly recommend watching any of the J. Hoff films' explanation of karate in the pit. Actually, it's less of an explanation and more of just a making fun of it. But if you wanted to know what it looked like, that's a good way to see what it is. Either that or just look up any YouTube video of it. There's tons of them. Karate in the pit, I find I've observed in usually just a specific genre of music, usually hardcore or deathcore music, but it's not limited to that. Usually if you go to a concert, you'll find one or two people, you know, partaking in hardcore dancing in the pit. Alright, so now that you know what it looks like, you'll probably have a strong feeling of it. If you're like me and you've been going to metal concerts for years, your opinion is probably pretty well solidified right now, and anything I say is probably not going to change your mind. But hey, you clicked on this video, so I guess you're going to listen anyway. So, the biggest concern with hardcore dancing being Bruce Lee in the fucking pit is that it's fucking dangerous. Now, I'm not saying a karate chop to the nose is a life-threatening injury. However, I can't tell you how many times I've seen people leave because of busted up faces. And I don't know about you, but I've already spent $30 on the ticket, $20 on some fucking electronic delivery fee, and then another $30 at the bar beforehand, and another $14 for a couple beers at the concert venue before the band started. That's almost $100. I'm not about to leave that concert early. Now, I'm also not saying that any form of moshing is safer than any other form of moshing. But really, the point is to literally swing your arms and legs around in a fighting type motion, and it's a mosh pit, so nobody's exacting precise caution, especially not to touch other people. So, contact will more than likely be made. Personally, I like a good old-fashioned push pit with a wall of death or two and non-stop crowd surfing. If I go to a concert of a band that I suspect there might be hardcore dancing in the mosh pit, I probably tend not to go in as much, just because I know my limits and I know how fucking clumsy I am, and if I run into one of those ninjas, I know my ass is getting dropped instantly. So if there's going to be hardcore dancing, I tend not to participate in the pit as much. With that being said, you would think I would disapprove of karate in the pit, right? Wrong. Now, remember decades ago when metal first started coming around and we started going to shows and started pushing each other around and then actually engaged in the first mosh pit, and venue security was like, whoa, these people are fucking nuts, and then society was like, whoa, these people are fucking nuts, and then everybody thought metalheads were just fucking nuts and wanted to incite violence and anarchy? Well, that's kind of what's happening now. It seems to be the next step in the evolution of the mosh pit. The thing about moshing is that it's an outlet for expression. You feel stressed out? Let it out in the pit. You feel depressed? Let it out in the pit. It's almost a catharsis, and it's something that was created, we'll say, without a strict set of instructions on how you're supposed to conduct yourself. So essentially, anything goes. Now, this is just my opinion, and you're absolutely entitled to yours. But I just think hardcore dancing is the next step of evolution in the mosh pit. Do I encourage that? No, I don't want to. I personally do not like hardcore dancing. The more and more concerts I go to, the more and more I see hardcore dancing. And as much as I dislike it, trust me, I really do, the more and more I see people enjoying it. So who am I to say they can't participate? If the pit is full of consenting adults who are okay with hardcore dancing and participate, then why stop it? Don't get me wrong, I do not support that this will become like the main form of moshing, but who am I to tell someone they can't do it? Moshing has always been something that you do whatever feels right and whatever feels good in the moment. There's no set of instructions on what you're supposed to do and when. So if you feel like hardcore dancing, I say go for it. If you feel like crowd surfing, fuck yes, go for it. If you feel like standing in the back and judging people for participating, go for it. That's not going to stop any of us from moshing. Just like our judgment shouldn't stop anybody else from hardcore dancing. With that in mind, I say mosh at your own risk, just pick somebody up if they fall.